Hello and welcome to our channel. Today, we are diving into the absolutely insane story of FedEx,
And I thought my jokes were bad.
the global shipping empire that delivers millions of packages every day all over the world. But did you know that the company's success hinged on one man, $5,000, and a weekend in Las Vegas? That's right. Founder Frederick Wallace Smith took an incredible gamble that saved his company from bankruptcy and turned it into a billion-dollar business. From overcoming childhood illness to revolutionizing the shipping industry, the FedEx story is nothing short of remarkable. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn about the wild ride that is the FedEx story. Okay, folks, let me tell you about the man, the myth, the legend, Frederick Wallace Smith, the founder of FedEx. Now, Fred wasn't exactly dealt the easiest hand in life. He battled childhood arthritis and spent his early years in leg braces and crutches, which led to him being bullied as a kid. But you know what they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And Fred emerged from his struggles with a love for flying that would later play a huge role in his success. Fast forward to Fred's college years, where he wrote a term paper proposing a revolutionary idea for the shipping industry. Spoiler alert. His professor gave him a measly C grade and told him it wasn't feasible. But did Fred let that stop him? No way, Jose. He went on to found Federal Express, which we now know as FedEx, and turned his crazy idea into a billion-dollar business. Moral of the story? Don't let a C grade hold you back, kids. Who knows? You might just end up revolutionizing an entire industry like Fred did. All right, folks. Buckle up because we're about to dive into the wild world of shipping, and no, it's not as boring as it sounds, I promise. Back in the day, packages were shipped on commercial airlines, which meant delivery times were slow and unpredictable. I mean, imagine waiting around for your package to arrive, not knowing if it would be there in 2 days or 2 weeks. That's some serious anxiety-inducing stuff right there. But fear not, because Frederick Wallace Smith had a vision, a dream, a crazy idea that would revolutionize the shipping industry as we knew it. Fred's idea was simple. Buy a fleet of jets, fly at night when airports weren't busy with outgoing flights, and sort the packages at one central hub for faster delivery times. Genius, right? But of course, his economics professor gave him a C grade and told him it wouldn't work. Well, guess what, Professor? Not only did it work, but it turned FedEx into a massive shipping empire that employs over 500,000 people worldwide. So next time you're anxiously waiting for your package to arrive, just remember that Fred's crazy idea made it all possible. Thank you, Fred, for revolutionizing the shipping game and saving us all from the agony of unpredictable delivery times. Get ready to travel back in time, folks, because we're about to take a trip to the early days of FedEx. It all started with one man, $5,000, and a dream. Frederick Wallace Smith, or Fred as we like to call him, had a vision to change the way packages were shipped. But let's be real, starting a shipping company is no easy feat. In fact, when Fred first launched Federal Express, now known as FedEx, the company struggled to take off, no pun intended. But Fred didn't let that stop him. He was determined to make his dream a reality, even if it meant taking drastic measures. And by drastic measures, we mean betting the company's remaining funds in a casino to try and save the business. Yep, you heard that right. Talk about a high-stakes gamble. But it paid off in the end because, spoiler alert, we're all using FedEx to ship our packages today. So thank you, Fred, for your fearless entrepreneurial spirit, and for reminding us that sometimes you have to take a gamble to make your dreams come true. Fred's early days at FedEx weren't all smooth sailing, though. In fact, the company faced some major challenges in its early years. One of the biggest hurdles was convincing customers that their packages would actually arrive on time. See, back in the day, the shipping industry wasn't exactly known for being reliable. But Fred wasn't one to shy away from a challenge. He was determined to prove to the world that FedEx was the real deal. So Fred came up with a game-changing idea. He decided to create a centralized hub where packages could be sorted and distributed more efficiently. This not only made the shipping process faster and more reliable, but it also allowed FedEx to expand its reach and offer delivery services to more areas. And the rest, as they say, is history. Thanks to Fred's vision and determination, FedEx revolutionized the shipping industry and paved the way for faster, more reliable package delivery. Despite its early success, FedEx faced a major crisis in the 1970s that nearly destroyed the company. See, the rising cost of fuel was putting a major strain on the business. And to make matters worse, the company was struggling to keep up with its growing debt. It seemed like everything was falling apart. But Fred wasn't ready to throw in the towel just yet. In a move that some might call crazy or genius, depending on who you ask, Fred decided to take a gamble and bet the remaining funds of the company at a casino in Las Vegas. Yep, you read that right. He put everything on the line in the hopes of turning the company's fortunes around.
It's gone.
And somehow, against all odds, it paid off. Fred won big at the casino and used the money to pay off FedEx's debt and keep the company afloat. Talk about a high-stakes gamble. So Fred came up with a game-changing idea. He decided to create a centralized hub where packages could be sorted and distributed more efficiently. This not only made the shipping process faster and more reliable, but it also allowed FedEx to expand its reach and offer delivery services to more areas. And the rest, as they say, is history. Thanks to Fred's vision and determination, FedEx revolutionized the shipping industry and paved the way for faster, more reliable package delivery. Despite its early success, FedEx faced a major crisis in the 1970s that nearly destroyed the company. See, the rising cost of fuel was putting a major strain on the business. And to make matters worse, the company was struggling to keep up with its growing debt. It seemed like everything was falling apart. But Fred wasn't ready to throw in the towel just yet. In a move that some might call crazy, or genius, depending on who you ask, Fred decided to take a gamble and bet the remaining funds of the company at a casino in Las Vegas. Yep, you read that right. He put everything on the line in the hopes of turning the company's fortunes around. And somehow, against all odds, it paid off. Fred won big at the casino and used the money to pay off FedEx's debt and keep the company afloat. Talk about a high-stakes gamble. Now, I don't want to spoil the whole story for you, but let's just say that things don't go exactly as planned. Let's just say that Fred doesn't exactly clean up at the blackjack table, but somehow, against all odds, he manages to scrounge up just enough money to keep FedEx afloat for one more week. And that 1 week is all he needs. In the end, Fred's insane gamble pays off. Not in the way he expected, but it pays off nonetheless. FedEx survives, and it goes on to become the multi-billion-dollar shipping empire that we know and love today. Who knew that the key to success was just a little bit of luck and a lot of gambling? After surviving the crisis, FedEx was back in the game and ready to take on the world. And they did just that with the help of a little political maneuvering. Fred had always believed that the key to success was having a strong government partnership. So he began lobbying Congress to deregulate the airline industry and allow FedEx to operate more freely. It took a few years of hard work and lobbying, but eventually the government relented and FedEx was able to fly to any city in the U.S. without restriction. This was a huge victory for the company and allowed them to expand rapidly, but that wasn't the end of their political partnerships. In fact, FedEx continued to work closely with the government and even became the first company to be awarded a contract to transport mail on behalf of the U.S. Postal Service. This was a huge win for the company and cemented their position as a major player in the shipping industry. And with this newfound success, FedEx continued to grow and expand into new markets, cementing their position as a major player in the world of logistics. All right, buckle up, folks. It's time to talk about the legacy of the one and only Fred Smith, the man, the myth, the legend behind FedEx. So what can we learn from his incredible story? Well, first and foremost, never let setbacks hold you back. I mean, let's be real. Fred had a pretty tough start in life, what with his childhood arthritis and all, but he didn't let that stop him from pursuing his dreams. And when his economics professor gave him a C grade for his revolutionary business idea, he didn't let that discourage him either. Instead, he went out and proved that professor wrong by building one of the most successful shipping companies in the world. So if you're ever feeling down, just remember, if Fred Smith can overcome his challenges and build an empire, you can overcome your challenges too. Another lesson we can learn from Fred's story is the importance of innovation. I mean, let's face it, before FedEx came along, the shipping industry was a bit of a mess. Packages were being shipped in cargo holds of commercial airlines, which meant delivery times were slow and unpredictable. But Fred saw a better way to revolutionize the entire industry with his idea of overnight delivery. And it worked. So if you're in business, don't be afraid to think outside the box and come up with new and innovative ways to solve problems. Who knows, you might just change the world like Fred did. Last but not least, Fred's story is a reminder of the power of perseverance. As we've seen, the journey to success is never a smooth one. There are always going to be obstacles and challenges along the way, but the ones who succeed are the ones who keep pushing through no matter what. And Fred Smith is a perfect example of that. He faced countless setbacks and challenges over the years, from the early days of FedEx to the crisis that nearly destroyed the company, but he never gave up. He kept fighting, kept innovating, and eventually he built a shipping empire that's still going strong today. So if you're ever feeling like giving up, just remember, if Fred can do it, you can too. Can